Hello there, this particular video will be on two-step equations with decimals and fractions. So let's begin. Solve for f. So 0.3 equals 0.5f minus 0.7. Well, our goal is to get f by itself, so I'm going to start by adding 0.7 to both sides of the equation. Right? Reason being is that's going to make me a zero pair there. So 0.3 plus 0.7 is equal to 1, or 1.0, equals 0.5 times f. Well, I don't want 0.5f. I want to get 1f by itself. So I need to divide by 0.5. Divide by 0.5. Well, remember, like I showed with the expressions, this is going to be my neat work, and this is going to be my scrap over here, my scrap work. So I need to do 1 divided by 0.5. So 1 divided by 0.5. Well, you learned at a younger grade, you might not remember, but you learned that you'd have to move this decimal 1 over to get that to be 5. And you'd have to move this over 1 to make that 10. So how many times does 5 go into 10, which is 2? So 2 times 5 is 10. So f is equal to 2. All right, let's check our work to see if it makes sense. So 0.5 times f, which is 2, minus 0.7. Well, 2 times 0.5 is equal to 1. So 1 minus 0.7 is, it's like a dollar minus 70 cents, gives me 0.3, or 30 cents, which matches smiley face, yay us. All right, let's go to the next one. All right, this one I have to distribute 0.25 times these two terms. So bring down the 4, equals 0.25 times w is 0.25w. And 0.25 times 4.3, negative 4.3, that's a positive times a negative is a negative. And guess what, folks? I'm going to need to use my scrap work on the side, or do my scrap work on the side. So I have 0.25 times 4.3. Now, students, you don't need to line up decimal places when you're multiplying decimals. You just need to count at the end how many decimal places you have. So let's go here. 5 times 3 is 15, carry the 1. 5 times 4 is 20, plus 1 is 21. Put a 0 here for place value. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 4 is 8. So when we add these up, we get 5. 1 plus 6 is 7. 2 plus 8 is 10. And we have to count 1, 2, 3 decimal places. So it's 1.075. So back to here, it's a positive times a negative is a negative 1.075. So continuing with our problem, we distributed, we got rid of the parentheses. Now we have to add 1.075 to both sides of the equation. 4 plus 1.075 is 5.075, equals, that's a 0 pair, 0.25 times w. So my goal now is to get w by itself. I'm going to extend the page a little bit. So I have to divide both sides by 0.25. Divide by 0.25. And I'm going to get, on this side, w. On this side, I need to use my scrap paper. So this is 5.075 divided by 0.25. So if you think about it, I got to move the decimal 1, 2 places, 1, 2 places. So this is the same as 25. How many times does it go into 507.5? Well, let's see. 25 goes into 50 2 times. 2 times 25 is 50. No remainder. Bring down the 7. Does 25 go into 7? Oh, goes in 0 times. There's our decimal point. 0 times 25 is 0, so 7 comes down. Now we can bring down our 5, and 25 goes into 75 3 times. 3 times 25 is 75, so I have no more remainder. So W equals 20.3, right? I know that was a lot of work, and you might think that it was, uh, you know, ugly, but hey, you know what? Sometimes math isn't pretty. So let's check it out, though. So 0.25 times, uh, let's give ourselves a little more room here. 0. Oops. 0.25 times 20.3 minus 4.3. I'm sorry for the sloppiness, but you'll see that 20.3 minus 4.3 is 16. So 0.25 times 16. Well, I'm actually not going to even calculate it. I mean, I could go through the whole decimal, but isn't that 1/4 of 16? And 1/4 of 16 is equal to 4, which is the number we were looking for. All right, let's try this one. M over 9 plus 2/3 equals 7/3. So my goal, you might have heard my son Sam asking for a culotta, because that's what 6-year-olds drink. M over 9 plus 2/3 equals 7/3. So my goal is to end up with M by itself at the end. So I'm going to subtract 2/3 from both sides. And I get M over 9 equals 7/3 minus 2/3 is 5/3. Well, I don't want M over 9. I want just M. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 9 over 1. Why am I doing 9 over 1? Because that's going to make those 9's cancel each other out, leaving me with 1m. If I multiply one side by 9, or 9 over 1, I'm going to multiply the other side by 9 over 1. And it turns out that 3 and 9 simplify to 1 and 3. And I end up with, in the numerator, 15. 5 times 3, denominator 1, so m is equal to 15. Now let's check our work. 15 over 9 plus 2/3. Well, common denominator would be 9, so this would be 15 over 9 plus 2/3 would be 6 over 9, which is 21 over 9. Uh-oh, that doesn't match that. Well, it's not simplified. If I simplify 21 and 9 by 3, so 21 divided by 3 is 7. 9 divided by 3 is 3. So I get 7/3, and yep, that matches what I had there, so it works out. Just back to this to show you. All right, let's try one more, I believe. Yep, one more. -5, open parentheses, p plus 3/5, or the way to really say it is -5 times the quantity, p plus 3/5, so equals -4. So we want to get p by itself. So let's distribute to get rid of these parentheses. -5 times p is -5p. -5 times positive 3/5. This is a negative times a positive is a negative, and I'm going to use this for my scrap work. This is -5 over 1 times 3 over 5. Well, it's a negative times a positive, so we know the answer is going to be a negative. And the 5's can cancel each other out. They make a 1 and a 1. I end up with 3 over 1, or just -3. So -5p minus 3 equals -4. So what can I do now to help get p by itself? Well, I'm going to add 3 to both sides, make a 0 pair on this side, leaving me with -5p is equal to -4 plus 3 is -1. Now I'm going to divide both sides by Negative 5 divided by negative 5. Negative 5p divided by negative 5 is 1p equals negative 1 divided by negative 5. A negative divided by negative is a positive. So p is equal to positive 1/5. Let's check our work. All right. So negative 5, open parentheses, 1/5 plus 3/5. Oop, my battery is running low. So I gotta finish this video soon. 1/5 plus 3/5. So 1/5 plus 3/5 is 4/5. So this is negative 5 times 4/5. Well, 5 and 5, this is negative 5 over 1 times 4/5. 5 and 5 cancel each other out to 1 and 1. Because the negative times a positive is a negative. And 4 over 1 is negative 4. And yep, it works out. Hope you enjoyed the video. You know, I know you guys don't love fractions and decimals, but you need to learn to work with them.